Hello everyone, today we're gonna watch, as one of you requested, a MaDFroG game. This is a ladder game which was played in May of 2005 between, as just mentioned, the Swedish undead player MaDFroG, definitely one of the most iconic European players in early Warcraft 3. He played for the Q team in early Reign of Chaos before he joined SK Gaming, which was obviously a lot more professional. He became one of the first European players to move to Korea to play Warcraft 3 there professionally together with his SK Gaming teammates, and he was also the player from SK Gaming who stayed in Korea for the longest time. So after his teammates went back to Europe, he joined the Sonokong Friends Pro team to just continue practicing in Korea and playing in the Korean leagues with his team. And then when he returned to Europe in the summer of 2004, he rejoined SK Gaming. And during this time, that was basically the big year for MaDFroG in Warcraft 3. He became second place in the ESWC twice, in 2003 against He-Man and in 2004 against FoF. And he became first place in the Blizzard Worldwide Invitational of 2004 without dropping a single map. By the way, he's going for a ghoul build order here with a slightly delayed altar. Just to see here, shop just barely before the altar finishes. So his hero, the Death Knight first, will be out a little bit after his opponent's Farseer. And during that time he also was one of the leading developers of the Undead gameplay, with making the Lich first work in Undead Mirror, and also his famous Gargoyle playstyle against Night Elf. And many consider him the best undead player of that time. I would give the slight edge to FoF, but I guess that just depends on a personal preference. And then in early 2005, MaDFroG for the first time announced his official retirement. So this game was played already a little bit into MaDFroG's inactivity. So this is not really the top-notch European Warcraft anymore, but he tried multiple times to make a comeback, but those never went well for him. He was only a mediocre European player after he retired for the first time. The biggest comeback attempt was in early 2007 when he joined the European World Elite Squad, and then in May of 2007 he completely went inactive. And his opponent, by the way, is qwelp, a Russian player, founder and leader of the Bliss Planet Russian Warcraft 3 team. Not the most memorable player, but I mean, he had to face a pretty strong Russian scene back then with players like Deadman and Kara, and he never really stood a chance against those top players. But for a rather inactive MaDFroG, it seems like he was a decent match. So the Farseer nicely snuck around the forest here, and I think the Death Knight just lost track of him, so guessing MaDFroG doesn't really know where to harass right now. At the same time, the ghoul has been chased back into the main base here. The undead tech is slightly behind the tech of the orc since he invested a lot in those ghouls. And by the way, this is the older Echo Eyes version with a couple of creep sets being different. MaDFroG, as it seems, is expecting, I don't know what he's expecting. At least qwelp can creep this camp here for free, finding the claws of attack. And MaDFroG is just searching around at his own side of the map right now, so I'm assuming he is expecting the orc player to be at the left side of the map, but he's not gonna find him there. So at the old version of Echo Eyes, a couple of creep sets are different, and most importantly, there are heal fountains where the mercenary camps are nowadays, and there is a mana fountain where the marketplace is. So Ring of Protection for MaDFroG, he can pick that up later on, but obviously not the greatest item for him. At the same time, qwelp is gonna be able to at least, I'm assuming he's gonna go for the Renegade Wizard first, so he's gonna get, he should get that at least. MaDFroG seems to know about the whereabouts of his opponent right now. Periapt of Vitality for the Farseer. At the same time, MaDFroG continues creeping with his ghouls here. And what does he get? Ring of Protection, Death Knight level 2, and if I remember correctly, those water elementals are magic immune, so MaDFroG right now has a pretty tough challenge with dancing around here with his Death Knight, trying to get the last hit without the coil, while at the same time creeping at the other side of the map with his ghouls without losing any of them if possible. And let's see, so far the Death Knight didn't get anything killed, slightly too soon. His attempt to last hit the water elemental here, and it seems like all of his ghouls are gonna survive though. And that last water elemental, yeah, he isn't even gonna try to go for it. Yeah, really difficult to make anything happen here against those magic immune water elementals. So MaDFroG is gonna be chased away for now. Almost level 3 on the fast here. Tier 3 has been started immediately here for the orc. TC second. War mill already finished, and no tier 2 buildings for now. No shop so far as well. 1 B3 is now coming. And I'm assuming MaDFroG just continues creeping here with his ghouls. He's going for a straight tier 3, a Dreadlord second, and no graveyard so far, and no second crypt. So what MaDFroG usually used to do is to get 2 crypts against basically everything, except humans sometimes, but against the other 3 races, always 2 crypts. Against orc, I would expect like 2 gargoyles on tier 2, just to force a couple of bad riders out of the orcs who would in almost every game go for wind riders on tier 2. And then when the orcs start producing bad riders, a switch to a lot of ghouls and a couple of wind riders, yeah, just to counter out a bad rider plus wind rider army as good as possible. But it seems like we're not gonna see any of that here. Now the graveyard is coming. Maybe he forgot that, not sure. Dreadlord is out, seems like he's gonna pick up that Ring of Protection right now. Death Knight is once again coming in here. The fast here is not here to accompany his TC creeping, and for the first time MaDFroG is able to steal a creep here. And yeah, rather aggressive here with his Death Knight. It seems like the TC probably is going for Shockwave first, because I don't really see why MaDFroG would go in so aggressively if he wouldn't. So Rod of Necromancy bought with this Dreadlord. Ring of Protection picked up already. What's down here? Gloves of Haste. And yeah, next creep goes to MaDFroG here. Another Gloves of Haste is dropped this time. The Farseer picks it up, and yeah, it seems like MaDFroG is 100% sure there is no Stomp here, because otherwise this would just be complete suicide. He's going for the Grunt here. I think he should pull back and wait for the coil cooldown to go through here. Nice deny by the Farseer. Not really a standard move back in 2005 and MaDFroG. I mean, it is the old version of the map. He can just go to the heal fountain, so he can play a more aggressive style. By the way, we do see a second crypt here. Tier 3 has already finished. So yeah, as just mentioned, MaDFroG can go for a bit more of an aggressive style with his harassment, because he can't just heal back up at the heal fountain. But I think he should have just stayed back, waited for the coil cooldown to pass, and then just coil the Grunt another time instead of getting so much damage. Tiny Great Hall already bought here for qwelp. And the second beast tree is being added, so we are most likely gonna see air units from the orc player. And Frenzy and Web already being researched, so he's not even gonna start going for any gargoyle or whatnot here. We're under attack! Which yeah, was more common back then, even against orc, even if it sounds a bit ridiculous nowadays. And yeah, MaDFroG is continuing creeping straight away. He does use his Death Knight as well. He could just creep the Dreadlord here to level 2, but it seems like he doesn't want to do so. At the same time, qwelp is gonna go for some aggression here. One ghoul is being, one grunt is being sleeped. The Shockwave, not very good. So now there is the confirmation. The orc has gone for a Shockwave first. First sleeps. Sleep has also gone on the Raider Surround attempt on the Dreadlord, and he is gonna close that one. Coil saves the Dreadlord for now. The first Raider has already fallen. The Dreadlord is gonna go down as well, though there's nothing MaDFroG can do about that. But at the same time, 2 Raiders have gone down, and I think that's a decent trade for MaDFroG, since the level 1 Dreadlord isn't that huge of a loss. And at the same time, he's trying to go furthest around on the Farseer here, but not very successfully. But at least at the same time, qwelp has won some time for his expansion. The fiends are being produced right now, and MaDFroG has not scouted that so far. The Ogre Magi has been sleeped earlier, so he didn't participate in that fight. And MaDFroG, oh, I think he poked back too far there. He shouldn't have given control of the mana fountain to the Orc here, because right now there is Chain Wave available, and I don't really see him going in there with only ghouls and his Death Knight against the AoE spells. And I'm assuming that MaDFroG is thinking the same, so he's giving this Ogre Magi to his opponent, going for the expansion. I think he didn't scout it.
Our town is under attack.
And yeah, he's gonna try and get those fiends killed. TP is coming in. He does not pick up the Pendant of Energy. And yeah, with the first two Wind Riders already being at the army, there's no really point in staying in this fight here for MaDFroG. He is gonna try to yeah, delay this expansion, paying for itself here, getting the kill on two more of those fiends, maybe even a third one. He still has a coil. And yeah, he's going for it. Chain Wave hits the Death Knight, but he is gonna survive here thanks to his Unholy Aura, which he did skill on level 2 already. So no Death Pact so far for this Death Knight. And yeah, first Fiends joining the Undead army now as well. And a Torrent Totem has been added by qwelp in the meantime. More Wind Riders are coming. And yeah, MaDFroG, let's just take a look at his army. Yeah, it seems like he is just gonna get a couple of Fiends for now. And he is going to rely on ghouls as his main source of damage output. And that is gonna work out for as long as there are not too many torrents, because if qwelp gets pulverized and his AoE damage from his heroes and those torrents, ghouls are just gonna melt. So I'm not sure how well MaDFroG is gonna be able to fight here if he is giving qwelp a little bit more time to prepare. But it seems like qwelp, who only has one creep camp left on his side of the map, is gonna go for some aggression immediately, as MaDFroG, if you include this, still has 3 creep camps remaining, and I'm assuming qwelp does not want to give MaDFroG the opportunity to creep up his heroes even further. I think MaDFroG already has a slight hero advantage, level 4-2, yeah, against 3-2. 59 supply against 56, so rather even. I'm not really sure if it's the greatest choice to already fight against the undead base here, but yeah, the Farseer carries the TP, so maybe he should just TP out first. Shockwave is doing some nice damage. Slaughterhouse has fallen, it's not being reproduced yet. And the Death Knight is being focused immediately. Heal Scroll used, and he's blocking himself with his statue. Now pulling it back, but might be too late. The Death Knight is going down here. So that's definitely not the start MaDFroG was hoping for in this fight. And at the same time, qwelp's TC is taking some damage as well. TP passed, and he is not able to use it in time though. So both the players losing one hero. MaDFroG certainly with the more sufficient loss in the beginning of this fight, but yeah, fight did certainly not go the way qwelp hoped for in the long run, since he lost most of the units after killing this Death Knight. So yeah, as expected, maybe the fight a little bit too early for qwelp. I think he should just given MaDFroG the time to sit back and get the Dreadlord and Death Knight a little bit more leveled up as well. If he had in return just gotten 3 Tauren and grabbed his last camp and yeah, just let that expansion work for a little while. So in the meantime, he towered up this expansion, so this completely negates any possibilities for MaDFroG to do some ghoul harassment in the meantime, which was also something MaDFroG used to do a lot in his games. If the opponent gave him any chance, any vulnerable base, he would always send just a couple of ghouls to do some harassment against the opponent's workers. So yeah, TC is almost back out already. No upgrade so far for qwelp. MaDFroG has 1-0 on his ghouls. Let's see, he's not producing anything more at the moment. He's not even reproducing a slaughterhouse at the moment, even though he has 650 gold. Dreadlord already approaching level 5. Let's see if he gets a Tome of Experience. Would already mean level 5 for him, but he gets the Tome of Strength +2. And yeah, Death Knight back as well. He should probably pick up on, okay, he does have the TP on his Dreadlord already. And an Acolyte is heading down to the bottom for a counter expansion, as it seems Death Knight turns around. What's he getting? 2 mana potions. So yeah, let's see. Actually, well, if he poked in from the bottom here with his fiends, he might be able to do some harassment against the fiends if there are no creep camps left. But it seems like he's gonna go ahead and creep the level 5 on his Dreadlord first. The Scout Peon here, is he gonna see it? He even wants to place a tower here, but he doesn't get to start producing, but he did his job. He scouted the expansion, and with only its Death Knight, obviously MaDFroG is not gonna be able to hold that, so he's gonna have to cancel that, and immediately does so. And qwelp is not that stupid chasing after the Death Knight. He rather cancels the expansion and actually level 3 Carrion Swarm here. So that's certainly unusual. And level 2 Vampiric Aura. So I'm assuming he bought the Tome of Retraining, which I must have missed, because earlier on, when he was still level 1 at the fight up here, he did have Sleep. So that's an interesting choice, but it certainly provides some nice damage output against those Wind Riders.
We're under attack.
And against the Peons as well, obviously. And yeah, TP is coming in. This time a couple, 3 Tauren are available for qwelp. Immediately all the Wind Riders are being webbed. Nice chain wave going through the undead army. First heal scroll has been used by MaDFroG. Now he's trying to split his fiends a little bit. 2 of the Wind Riders have already gone down. Next fiend is falling. It still looks a little bit better for qwelp, but MaDFroG with his base in the back might still be able to hold this here. Next Carrion Swarm going through the Wind Riders. 1 more is going down to a coil. MaDFroG still trying to split his army here. The Tauren is going for those fiends. 2 more Wind Riders are coming in, immediately are being webbed. The next Wind Rider is going down. Dreadlord already approaching level 6 though, slowly. And Coil kills another Tauren. He decides to coil the Tauren instead of the Fiend, so the Fiend did go down as well. Another Tauren here. Death Knight decides to chase it, and at the same time the Dreadlord is taking a lot of damage. He needs to pull back into space. He gets a heal potion used just in time before the Chain Lightning strikes, and are those... No. He's turning around with the Wind Riders. I'm assuming the Tauren has died here to the Death Knight, and TP this time used in time by the TC, and so the Death Knight is gonna have to be satisfied with killing just 1 more Wind Rider. So yeah, MaDFroG didn't do too bad considering that he only had a couple of fiends and ghouls to work with here, and he took so much AoE damage in the beginning of this fight, and he's still down by 10 supply. More raiders. A Kodo is produced. Another Tauren. Let's see upgrades. Still no upgrades though. Oh, he's getting the first defense upgrade right now. And let's see, MaDFroG. Yeah, will just be able to coil this Dreadlord right now. Soon level 6 actually on both the heroes. And more fiends are being produced. A new slaughterhouse finally for MaDFroG and the Lich third. So yeah, MaDFroG, not very surprisingly, isn't relying on ghouls anymore against this mass AoE unit composition of his opponent. Meanwhile, downside for qwelp is that he's so far behind hero-wise. He's got level 4-3, sorry, against 5-5-1, almost 6-6-1. So yeah, not really sure who is gonna be ahead in a straight-up fight now. Next Carrion Swarm is doing a ton of damage. Maybe he should have just put those peons inside one of his burrows. So Infernal is now being cast. The Death Knight doesn't have a TP here, and I think he is surrounded. The Raider is going down. Death Knight is trying to pull himself out. Chain Wave is getting the kill here, and that's horrible news for for MaDFroG. He has to pull back. The Lich, yeah, still level 1, just arrived here, and immediately he has to pull back. Army is obviously in a huge advantage for qwelp right now. MaDFroG is trying to do some kiting, losing one fiend here, in return killing one wind rider. Even though that's the slightly better trade for MaDFroG, he doesn't really want to have those trades since he doesn't have the expansion. One raider is able to cast the... Oh, that's unfortunate. Is able to cast Ensnare on the Lich here. Lich does go down. In the meantime, the Infernal killed the raider. There's still mana on both the Orc heroes. The Infernal, all by himself, is fighting the slow Kodo here together with 3 taurens and 2 heroes. The Kodo is not gonna get away. But MaDFroG, I feel like maybe he's a little bit overly greedy against those tauren. And maybe he should just pull back, but at the same time all those tauren are low HP, so sort of, yeah, reasonable greed here by MaDFroG. Another fiend is not going down here. Actually, the fiend might survive here. The next tauren is in some trouble. Death Knight is more than halfway back already, and since there is no raider around, actually 2 more raiders coming, so this Dreadlord is gonna have to be careful here. I was just about to say, since there's no raider around, the Dreadlord can move around a little bit more freely. Next tauren is in some trouble here. In the meantime, one tower has been produced here, so there's not going to be a counter expansion from MaDFroG anytime soon. And now the Dreadlord will have to take care here. Carrion Swarm goes through, one more raider is available, and Snare should be on cooldown, so maybe he's going to get away. No, 2 more raiders are coming in, so I'm assuming the Dreadlord will fall here, and that's going to leave MaDFroG without any heroes alive. Yeah, the Dreadlord does go down, level 7 Dreadlord, I think. And that's, of course, bad news for MaDFroG. Another statues going down, and all those fiends are gonna fall. So, yeah, both are players with a little bit of lazy micro, I would say. Yeah, coil goes on the Infernal, but it's gonna die anyways. See, there is another coil available, so the Death Knight could kill the raider here, which he is doing right now. One more raider is available, and it seems like qwelp wants to keep the pressure up here. He wants to lay siege to this undead base without overcommitting, so he's bringing a Demolisher with the Burning Oil upgrade already. And immediately going in a little bit too far, taking a lot of damage. On this Demolisher, the TC needs to take care. There is no TP available for the Orc player, and yeah, the TC is gonna go down to the next coil here. So both the players losing heroes left and right. The last raider for now, once again, is being taken out by a coil before the Ensnare cooldown does come through. Another raider already coming in though. One more fiend going down as well as the Demolisher. And this statue, yeah, isn't gonna get away as well. So fairly straight up game, not really too much strategy involved anymore. qwelp is just producing units and units and units, and he's trying to keep the pressure up. There's only 300 gold remaining for MaDFroG, so slowly his time is running out here, and there's still 6,000 in this expansion, so qwelp is gonna have a lot of resources to work with. Mana potion used by the Death Knight Fiend goes down though, so yeah, the mana potion was used too late, so MaDFroG decides to coil the raider instead twice, so the raider does go down once again, and actually with the slow he does a lot of damage to this fast here. Dreadlord is now back. He does not have the mana for an Infernal yet. Not sure about the cooldown though, but I think it should be available again. And another raider coming in, but yeah, since there is no more sleep available, he can't really do anything about that, and his Lich, yeah, still being dead, now being revived, yeah, would have provided Nova, but yeah, since it's dead, didn't have any way to slow down that raider. So yeah, more raiders, yeah, moving across the map for qwelp. MaDFroG, yeah, trying to stun one of them with the Infernal. It seems like he barely missed, and therefore the raider is gonna get away here. Quite a big army for qwelp. Where's the TC? TC just back. Meanwhile, MaDFroG has only 3 heroes. No TP once again, so he's gonna have to take care. First raider goes down, and the Death Knight is once again gonna be the target here. Second raider is gonna fall. Only one more raider available. The Death Knight, is there nuke available? No, Chain Lightning does not go on the Death Knight here, so he is gonna get away for now. The Infernal once again is doing a ton of damage. The Lich is so fragile, just a little bit of focus fire and he's already halfway dead, so he's gonna have to pull back. So there's only the Dreadlord, actually still level 6, not level 7, as I was thinking earlier. He has to fight the Orcs army here. Again, no chain lightning going on the Death Knight here. I think it wouldn't be enough though. Level 6 in the meantime for the Farseer as well. Nuke goes on him 4 HP and he uses the TP just in time. So let's see, are all the units here in range? Yes, except for the Wolf, but that one isn't going to achieve any great success anymore. So yeah, MaDFroG out of gold income. He's down to 33 supply. He's got level 661, almost 771. Against 6-4. I'm curious what that Farseer skilled. So with a level 3 chain lightning, I think he still hadn't been able to take the Death Knight down. And right now MaDFroG, I think, is just gonna scout this tower. Yeah, so he's gonna have to do something about that. qwelp still 01 upgrades. He's not building any more air units anymore, which is of course rather obvious against or rather reasonable against these heroes, and basically only fiends instead use. Let's see what's MaDFroG doing. He's just sending the Infernal down here. That's easily gonna be enough to take care of the tower and the Peon. And yeah, it should be rather obvious to qwelp, since he just saw those Acolytes down there, that MaDFroG is gonna wanna go for a counter expansion. And I think that's MaDFrog's best shot, because against this expansion, we have 2 Peons going down here, level 2 for the Lich finally. Against this expansion, I don't really see MaDFroG applying a lot of pressure if the Orc is also around and has 5 towers to back him up. But maybe with his heroes he can make this counter expansion work. So he's moving his Acolytes out of his base. Once again, the Orc is in front of that base. Is there a TP on MaDFroG? Of course not. So he's gonna have to run back, and Earthquake is going on 3 of the Ziggurats and the main building here, and MaDFroG is gonna lose a lot of his main base here, as it seems. So he is back to tier 0, no main building available for now, so he's gonna be revealed in 2 minutes unless he builds a new Necropolis. And let's see if qwelp is gonna go for the fight here. I guess there's no reason not to. Infernal should be available. And MaDFroG, he will have to pull those statues back, maybe pull back his entire army, try to get in a smaller gap back here to make it harder for the Orc to get attack surface on all of these units. So new Infernal being casted, some spells. The damage output against those Raiders is insane. 2 of them already gone down, the 3rd one also about to fall. Chain Lightning going through the undead army. Nothing from MaDFroG died so far. The ghouls are gonna die soon though. Yeah, first ghoul is going on, second ghoul as well. The Tauren here is being pulled back just in time. Double level 7 in the meantime for those undead heroes. TC taking a bit of damage. He still has the heal potion, but he's gonna have to pull back. The nuke is insane. He's taking so much damage, and the Death Knight still has a coil available. So yeah, the TC should fall here. For some reason he's turning around. I don't really see the point in that. And in the same time, the Lich is also going down. Heal potion used by the Farseer, and there is still mana on both of the undead heroes, so the Farseer is gonna fall as well. And once again, both the players losing heroes. MaDFroG again getting way better off in this trade. He still has both his main heroes available. The Infernal here easily takes the 1-on-2 against this Grunt and the Tauren. And the Death Knight, yeah, he can just coil out the Grunt if he wants to, and then kill the Tauren afterwards. Or kill the Tauren first, and the Grunt later on. Next Carrion Swarm going on the second Grunt here, and I'm assuming both these Grunts will probably die. This one to a normal hit and this one to the coil. So TC halfway back. There is a Peon here at the tavern. Let's see how much that Farseer costs him. About 700 gold. Yeah, both of the Grunts have gone down. There is still a low HP Tauren here in the back of the base. Actually, he could have sent that just to the heal farm. Not sure why he kept it in the back of his base. But at the same time, the expansion is up for MaDFroG here. So he's again mining gold. Farseer is now back out of mana. but he is going to be able to do a lot of damage here. MaDFroG obviously has no way to get to the bottom left side of the map without running, so yeah, that's going to take him some time, and the altar is going to be focused down here, so the TC is not going to be back for quite a while unless he buys him at the tavern. And the next tower here is going to be cancelled. I think qwelp didn't pay attention, didn't cancel it, so he's going to lose those resources. And actually, if he chased all those acolytes down with his Farseer, I'm not sure if he's not aware of it, MaDFroG couldn't rebuild Necropolis. MaDFroG trying to go for the surround here, and I think the Farseer, yeah, that scared the Farseer. I think he thought the heroes must be right nearby, since it doesn't make any sense to go for a surround with only acolytes against a level 6 Farseer if there is no backup around, so maybe a little bit of a premature stuff here. Let's see, the Dreadlord does have level... no, that was the Unholy Aura. Does have level 3 Vampiric Aura, so he doesn't have sleep yet, so he cannot cancel that Staff of Preservation from the Farseer. Some more wolves are being sent in. The first of those acolytes has already gone down. The second one is also about to fall. Same time, the PN here is being taken out. I think the Lich just got out of the altar again, about to reach level 3 here. Acolyte is not being coiled in time. Of course, this is Laddergame, so both our players do not have perfect ping to work with, so yeah, those slow reaction times are a little bit more common than in a really competitive match. So does he get the coil in time? Actually, he decides to coil down the wolf, but they have worked out for him for now. But as long as this Farseer is just sitting at the mana fountain, he can just continue spamming the wolves and doing damage against those acolytes, and 2 have already gone down. Necropolis is now being summoned. New wolves are heading towards this haunted gold mine once again. At the same time, the Farseer doing another earthquake here. If he gets the slaughterhouse killed, MaDFroG is going to be down to 1 statue for a very long time, because he's going to have to take up to tier 2 again, and his Necropolis is not even finished yet, so yeah, that's going to take him a very long time. Let's see. He's going for the kill on another acolyte, and actually MaDFroG, I don't get this decision. Why is he aggressively coiling the wolves when he could just heal his acolytes? I mean, now he's healing one of the acolytes. I mean, what he's risking there is that the wolves head back and retreat without dying, so he's losing some experience, but I feel like the acolytes are much more valuable to him than the experience of killing a wolf. So yeah, he reached level 8. Okay, maybe he just desperately wants level 8 on this Dreadlord to have sleep available. That might be a reason for aggressively coiling those wolves, even though it might cost him an acolyte or 2 here and there. So the Farseer coming back in here, he's going to do some more damage against those buildings on the top. At the same time, another wolf harassment is going on. The acolyte surviving for now at least. And the wolf doesn't get close, and now he's gonna get there. But I think that's not gonna be enough damage output here. He is slowed by the new Ubin Tower, so the acolyte for now survives, and the Necropolis is gonna finish soon. At the same time, 600 gold remaining here. qwelp is gathering up as many units as possible, and he's going for another earthquake on those ziggurats, and MaDFroG is gonna be supply blocked when those ziggurats go down, so he is now down to 29 out of 20 supply. The Necropolis has now finished. Another ziggurat needs to be produced in order to continue acolyte production. So that's definitely bad news for MaDFroG, so that's gonna delay his acolyte production for another couple of seconds. The Farseer is never gonna go down here to this lone Death Knight. He's easily gonna get back to his base, and he will be well protected there by his raiders. Actually, the Death Knight needs to take care because he doesn't have any items. Another wolf harassment coming in, but he shouldn't do too much damage anymore. And actually, there are 4 raiders available, so that's enough to keep the Death Knight permanently ensnared. And if qwelp doesn't completely screw up, this Death Knight should fall, and losing the level 8 Death Knight is certainly a huge blow to MaDFroG. And yeah, he's even going for the surround. Wasn't even necessary. And the Death Knight is now gonna fall. He's even gonna get a free fiend here, as it seems. No, he's not. But that was a huge loss here. By the way, still no altar for qwelp, and his gold mine has now run out, so... sorry. So I'm assuming he's not gonna wanna get his TC back. He is back up to 64 supply. MaDFroG here at 25 out of 30. He's got 1 Acolyte being produced, so he needs to gather gold with 3 Acolytes in order to rebuild his Death Knight here. Or maybe he can just sell some items. He still has 2 rings of protection on his Dreadlord, so he can definitely sell those and start producing his Death Knight in the altar at the top. So let's just see. Yeah, he sold both the rings of protection, I think, nothing else. Not sure if he had anything on the Lich. And yeah, some more harassment going on, but 2 towers up right now. That helps him a little bit, but without the Death Knight around, he's unable to coil here. The Orc army is coming in from the back, and the Death Knight is still not being revived. He decides to produce more Acolytes instead, so he's up to back up to 26 supply out of 30. Well, right now, no longer, since he's gonna lose the Fiend as well as the statue. And even a second Fiend, so basically he's got 2 heroes and 1 Fiends against his entire Orc army right now. Even some Fiends are being brought to the front here by qwelp. Nice Nova kills 2 of the raiders. Earthquake is going on the Spirit Tower here in the back and is easily gonna take that one down. Nicely casted Infernal stuns the majority of the Orc army here, and all the raiders have gone down. There's 5 Tauren available, as well as the Farseer. 2 Watchtowers are now being produced in front of this undead expansion, and maybe that's the hope for MaDFroG. There's only Carrion Swarm available, and that's not gonna be enough damage. Heal Potion immediately used by the Farseer, and that one should get away rather easily. 1 more Fiend sacked here, so he can use Nova, kills 1 more Tauren. He should definitely be able to kill the second one as well. Another Carrion Swarm going through here. And the Dreadlord taking some damage here, so yeah, all the heroes are a little bit low. Dreadlord needs to take care, but with the majority of those Taurens slowed, he might still be able to get away. The Farseer also really greedy. Chain Lightning goes on the Dreadlord. Level up, level 8 for the Farseer saves him, and the Lich is going down as well. Nice move by qwelp, immediately boosting him up to almost level 9 on his Farseer. So MaDFroG is basically down to his Infernal and nothing right now. Let's just check the Altaria at the top. The Death Knight is about to come back. The Farseer maybe should take a little break here at the heal fountain. But at the same time, this Tauren needs to take care. Okay, the Infernal duration is just over, and the damage output of this Nerubian Tower is really low. So I'm guessing he's not going to lose that Tauren. 1 of the Acolytes is falling here. But the Wolf duration has also run out. There is mana for new Wolves if he wants to. Death Knight comes out here. The Farseer actually needs to take care, but he still has the staff, so he shouldn't fall. And the Tauren being pulled back here in time, but sadly, from the Orc's perspective, the Death Knight is coming in here from the top, and that leaves 1 Tauren alive at the moment, as well as the Farseer, and he's going with Wolves and Earthquake for the altar, and the Dreadlord is not gonna come back anytime soon. Death Knight obviously is going to be way too late. The 2 towers continue doing damage here to the Necropolis. At the same time, yeah, Farseer is coming in once again. And let's just see, there is 1 crypt up here for MaDFroG and 3 buildings down here. So slowly, even building kill becomes a possibility for qwelp. So yeah, new wolves being summoned. The crypt is still alive. Death Knight sees this Farseer. Actually, I think the staff might have a cooldown, but it seems like the Death Knight might just rushing back here to try and save these Acolytes, because those level 3 wolves are doing a ton of damage. So first Acolyte has gone down here, and the Necropolis is about to fall, so he's not going to be able to reproduce any Acolytes anytime soon. Let's see, MaDFroG, he has 600 gold saved up though. So another critical strike takes down 1 more Acolyte here. I'm curious what MaDFroG's gonna want to invest in here. He's getting another Ziggurat, so he is gonna have the supply to get the Dreadlord back. So he can either get his Dreadlord, or he can try and build a new Necropolis down here somewhere to produce more Acolytes.
Our forces are under attack.
Seems like the Tauren is now gonna head up here and finish this crypt. I'm curious if the Death Knight is gonna walk up here and kill him, but it seems like the Death Knight is now approaching the tavern. 900 gold have been saved up so far for MaDFroG. I mean, this Dreadlord is gonna be extremely expensive for him, and more harassment is going on those Acolytes. 900 gold in the meantime saved up. Dreadlord now being bought back. Yeah, one Acolyte only remaining for now, and that's of course not good for MaDFroG. Dreadlord and Death Knight should be able... Okay, wolf duration has run out anyways. The crypt is about to fall though. The one lonely Acolyte, yeah, keeps on mining, but of course that's so slow. He could theoretically sell his items and build a new Necropolis. So we have some more harassment going on against this Acolyte. Once again, MaDFroG is aggressively coiling the wolf here. One more hit is required. Death Knight is able to close the gap here. The wolf needs to take the long way around, and that buys MaDFroG the time to coil this Acolyte. And yeah, that one is not gonna go down here, at least for now. Farseer, actually, he has so much mana, he can just poke in here and do a chain lightning on the Acolyte, I feel. But yeah, there is level 8 now for the Dreadlord, so Farseer also needs to be afraid of sleep. Tauren here, yeah, shouldn't get overly excited. I think he should just yeah, go to the fountain for a little while and heal up. So the next wolf is probably gonna get killed here, and once again the Acolyte survives. The Farseer, he's always getting close, but it seems like he's afraid of sleep. He doesn't really dare going in for a chain lightning here against the Acolyte. So yeah, as requested, Tauren is taking a little bit of a break here, and barely coils the Acolyte in time. Yeah, the Tauren is taking a little bit of a break, but at a different destination. And now chain lightning is going in, and finally the last Acolyte from MaDFroG has gone down, so there's not gonna be any more gold income for him. And that means MaDFroG at some point he's gonna have to kill that Farseer, or there will just be an infinite amount of wolves attacking this expansion over and over and over again. But at the same time, MaDFroG, with finally the mana to cast another Infernal, is heading out, killing those towers finally. Same time, another pair of wolves is coming in. And the Dreadlord, where is he heading? Maybe he's expecting the Farseer up here at the mana fountain, just spamming wolves all the time. So the Nerubian Tower is gonna fall. That's obviously not gonna help MaDFroG any further. And actually the Farseer is at a different fountain here, healed up to full health. Where's the Tauren? Dreadlord again has plenty of mana, and it seems like he might just miss the Farseer here, but actually he's not even going towards the mana fountain. And it seems like, I'm assuming MaDFroG is just searching for this Farseer, but he's not finding him, at least for now. Another Peant being caught here on the way. Next bunch of wolves is being summoned, and MaDFroG, yeah, he just continues running around with this Dreadlord. It seems like he might just pull him back to the expansion for now to cast another Carrion Swarm on those wolves. Now the Farseer is coming in. Earthquake goes on the last two buildings, but immediately Sleep is being casted, and the wolves continue attacking here. 300 HP left on the Haunted Goldmine. Another Sleep goes on the Farseer. There is the Staff of Preservation available, Staff of Teleportation available, and he's using it. All the spells are going on the Farseer, and the cooldown is over, and Sleep goes on the Farseer again, and the Farseer should fall here. He's casting another pair of wolves, and double level 9 for the undead heroes. And what is he gonna be able to do with these wolves? He doesn't attack. Why isn't he attacking yet? I mean, one carrion swarm and one coil takes down one of the wolves, and the second wolf dies in 2 hits as well. So maybe he's waiting for the infernal to run out. Because he cannot use all the duration of the wolves anyway. So infernal is now about to run out, so maybe then he's gonna dare to go in and attack this haunted gold mine. 297 HP remaining, but he doesn't go in for the attack. I'm wondering, what is he thinking? Okay, now he's going in and immediately turning around as he sees the infernal. Well, now the duration is over, so that was a waste. He could have done at least like 30 more damage or so. But actually there is another tauren available for qwelp. At the same time, the infernal is heading towards the right side of the map, and qwelp calls GG here. Seeing that MaDFroG still has one building remaining, actually a second tauren is available as well. Not sure where those came from. And actually, yeah, I'm thinking qwelp losing his manners for a little bit here, doing everything for the stats in the ladder. And yeah, maybe he's gonna try and yeah, make MaDFroG think that the opponent is just mad and AFK or whatnot, and MaDFroG needs to kill all the buildings and therefore leave his haunted gold mine. So we'll see if that's gonna work out. Because with the sleep, if both heroes are around here, I don't see any chance for those tauren to kill both the buildings. And yeah, the infernal is just scouting here. If anything crazy is going on, the scout peon is gonna poke in here from the bottom now to see if there are any heroes around from the undead. And the Death Knight is still there, but I'm not sure if the Death Knight alone is gonna be enough to hold this, or if is he even gonna move the Death Knight away. So the tauren are both back at full health. MaDFroG is at 10 supply, 21 supply for qwelp. I'm wondering, where does he have... Okay, actually some peons remaining here as well. And yeah, MaDFroG is just... yeah, seems to buy it. He's going for the attack with his Dreadlord as well as the Infernal. Death Knight still chilling at the expansion here. And yeah, of course, with the hero and the Infernal, there's nothing those peons can do to stop MaDFroG from killing the entire orc base. But now the taurens are moving. The Death Knight is seeing them just now, and that obviously is horrible news for MaDFroG. Yeah, and it seems like that's certainly not enough damage output. The Infernal and the Dreadlord are rushing back, towards the bottom left corner, but that's not gonna be quick enough, and the two tauren here are going to take down the last building from MaDFroG. Actually, both the tauren even surviving, and qwelp, with a little bit of bad manner, is winning the game here in the end, with both players making a couple of really yeah, really weird mistakes, especially MaDFroG with being overly aggressive and having no TP a couple of times, especially when I think about that level 8 Death Knight. You see 9 to 5 hero kills here. With qwelp, yeah, mined like 8,000 additional gold. And yeah, therefore MaDFroG losing this game. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, one other thing. After the suggestion of a subscriber, I have installed a donate button. So if you have too much money and wanna give me some, you can find the link in the description. But of course, I appreciate everyone watching my content for free, and I will gladly continue to do so. But if you donate, all the money you give will somehow come back to increasing the quality of my content, or come back to Warcraft 3. But yeah, as just mentioned, of course, you can keep watching this stuff for free. And that's it. Bye.